Ever found yourself woken up in the middle of the night by 3 a.m. or 4 a.m.? If you have always woken up at that time of the night, do not be confused, for you are not alone. Finding yourself awake by such a time is not a mere coincidence. Many people from all corners of the world have experienced sudden nighttime awakenings, especially between the hours of 1 and 5 a.m. Some call it the devil's hour, others refer to it as the hour of the gods. And many faith traditions have their own explanations. But one thing is sure, whenever you find yourself awake by this time of the night, you're being invited into something deeper. Today, we shall dig into the supernatural meaning behind waking up between 1 to 5 a.m. We'll explore why 3 a.m. is often seen as a mystical threshold, how science actually supports the idea that these hours can be spiritually charged, and how biblical stories, from Joseph's midnight revelations to Jesus' prayer in Gethsemane, offer powerful examples of God's presence in our darkest hours. Each section will focus on a different hour of the night, from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., unraveling the clues as to why you might be awake at that precise time and what you can do about it. By the end, you'll see that these awakenings can become moments of profound transformation, a chance to manifest God's blessings, find direction, and experience peace that surpasses understanding. So, dim the lights, settle in, and allow yourself to enter a realm that has fascinated humankind for centuries. You might discover that this strange phenomenon is actually a holy opportunity. Let's begin by shedding light on what's actually happening in your body and brain during these wee hours. Scientifically, our sleep cycles rotate through stages that include light sleep, deeper slow-wave rest, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep. REM is where our most vivid dreams occur, and it often hits its peak between 3 and 5 a.m. That's why if you suddenly awaken in this time frame, you might recall dream details with startling clarity. In many faith traditions, nighttime holds special significance. There's a long-standing rumor, sometimes repeated in whispered tones, that 3 a.m. is the devil's hour. The idea behind this rumor is that demonic forces roam more freely in the dark. Yet in other traditions, this exact same hour is embraced as the hour of the gods, a moment when the veil between our tangible reality and the spiritual realm becomes thinner. This duality shows just how mysterious and impactful these late-night hours can be. Now, consider how these insights merge. If REM sleep is a time when your subconscious is most active, and faith teaches us that God often speaks in stillness or through dreams, then this nighttime window might be your soul's perfect opportunity to tune in. Whenever you find yourself awake in these hours, whether 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 a.m., pause before you dismiss it as random. There may be a sacred invitation hidden in your restlessness, but that's only the beginning. Let's dive into each hour to uncover its deeper meaning. Imagine the clock strikes 1:15 a.m. You twist and turn, your mind swirling with questions you tried to bury during the day. Perhaps you've been anxious about an upcoming decision, a conflict with a friend, or guilt that troubles your conscience. Suddenly you're wide awake. This is the hour of the night that many believe reveals suppressed inner conflict, unresolved concerns, and urgent emotional baggage. Let's look into why this matters spiritually. From a faith perspective, God often chooses quiet moments to nudge us toward resolution. When Joseph of Nazareth discovered Mary was expecting a child under mysterious circumstances, he was plagued by doubt and confusion. In the biblical narrative, Joseph's direction and reassurance came to him in a dream, potentially during these nighttime hours, urging him not to abandon Mary, but to trust the divine plan. This story underscores the principle that urgent worries can become gateways to divine guidance when we open our hearts. If you're waking up between 1 and 2 a.m., it may be your subconscious or God bringing something crucial to your attention. Instead of tossing and turning, try the following. 1. Pray or meditate. Whisper a simple prayer of surrender. Something like, Lord, I'm awake and my heart is restless. Reveal what I need to see and give me peace. 2. Journal your thoughts. Keep a small notebook near your bed. Scribble down whatever is on your mind. Sometimes just naming your worries deflates their power. 3. Reflect on key questions. Ask yourself, what unresolved tension or fear do I carry? Or is there something I've been avoiding? Then listen. This hour can feel unsettling because it demands honesty. But remember Joseph. Through faith, confusion can transform into clarity. Indeed, 1 to 2 a.m. might be the exact moment that stirs your heart to do something bold and faithful in the morning light. But that's only the first clue. Our next hour uncovers a different layer of meaning. Now the clock shows 2:30 a.m. You roll over, eyes open, and a sense of restlessness engulfs you. Some sources claim that this hour relates to the liver's detox process in traditional Chinese medicine. Others connect it to a swirl of emotions, like anger or resentment, that bubble to the surface when the world is quiet. But how does that line up with faith? Let's explore the spiritual perspective. In Scripture, there's a powerful story of King Hezekiah, a ruler struck with a dire illness, uncertain if he'd survive. In the silent hours of the night, he cried out to God for healing and found reassurance that his life would be extended. This narrative showcases the transformative power of honest, urgent prayer when our bodies or minds cry out for help. If you wake at 2:15 a.m., feeling physically off, or if you carry emotional burdens that keep rattling in your mind, it could be a signal that something deeper needs attention. Perhaps stress at work is manifesting in physical discomfort. Maybe you're harboring grudges that wear you down. It's vital to note that spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being are often intertwined. Here are the action steps you should take. 1. Check in with your body. Are you ignoring a persistent ache or emotional distress? Take a moment to breathe deeply and see what surfaces. 2. Pray for healing. Echo Hezekiah's approach. Lord, you know my struggles, both seen and unseen. I surrender them to you and trust in your healing power. 3. Release resentment. Let go of anger through confession and forgiveness. You can literally say, I release any resentment toward you. Insert the situation here. I invite God's peace into this space. If your nighttime awakenings between 2 and 3 a.m. become frequent, consider seeking practical solutions too. Improve your evening routine, talk to a counselor, or see a doctor if you suspect an underlying health issue. Faith flourishes best when we also practice wise self-care. Prayer can soften your heart, but don't hesitate to reach out for support in the daylight hours. The night's greatest mystery often revolves around what some have dubbed the hour of the gods. Let's talk about waking between 3 and 4 a.m., the deep spiritual connection. Some call 3 a.m. the witching hour, claiming demonic forces are most active. Others proclaim it's the hour of the gods, a mystical threshold when divine energy saturates the quiet world. Which one is correct? Let's dive into the biblical echoes. Look to the Garden of Gethsemane. In the Gospel accounts, Jesus prays alone, late into the night, possibly into these haunting early hours, wrestling with the weight of his approaching sacrifice. His disciples drift off, oblivious to the gravity of the moment. Meanwhile, Christ experiences profound communion with the Father, ultimately surrendering to the path set before him. Gethsemane is a biblical testament to how a seemingly dark hour can become the holiest turning point. From a scientific angle, this time frame hits the peak of REM sleep. You might recall vivid dreams. Sometimes, these dreams feel like revelations, or your waking mind might sense a spiritual presence. That's why journaling any memory of dreams or sudden insights is so important. In the quiet time of 3 to 4 a.m., you may be more open to God's nudge than at any other time of day. Here are some practical faith practices you can explore. 1. Quiet your heart. If you wake at this hour, take a moment to be still. Whisper the Lord's Prayer, or simply say, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening." 2. Seek dream clues. If you remember a symbol or a conversation from your dream, jot it down. You can pray for discernment to understand the meaning. 3. Embrace the stillness. Instead of labeling this hour as sinister, consider it a sacred window. You're not helpless. You're invited to communicate with the Creator, who knows your every thought. This hour can be unsettling because it cuts through trivial distractions and can expose the raw edges of your soul. Yet it's also the hour that carries the greatest promise. Think of Jesus in Gethsemane, a moment of agony and surrender that ultimately revealed divine purpose. Your own 3 a.m. awakenings might be the first step toward a breakthrough you've been praying for, or the moment you open your heart to a radical change. But there's more, because as we inch closer to dawn, a brand new energy emerges. How about waking between 4 and 5 a.m.? This is known as the hour of renewal and rebirth. Now picture the sky just beginning to lighten, a thin sliver of dawn. It's 4:25 a.m. You wake, not with panic, but with a surprising sense of hope, as though a new beginning is whispering your name. Many interpret these final hours before sunrise as a bridge between the deep night and the promise of morning. Spiritually, they can signify rebirth or a resurrection of your mindset, reminiscent of the empty tomb at the break of day. Let's have a look at the biblical symbol of resurrection. When Mary Magdalene visited Jesus' tomb, the Gospels describe it as early, while it was still dark. She and the other women discovered the stone rolled away, and an angel proclaimed Jesus had risen. This happened around dawn, reminding believers that new life can emerge from the darkest nights. Waking in this time frame might be a subtle echo of that resurrection moment, a call to lift your eyes toward the possibility of transformation. Here's how you can embrace the day's first light. 1. Set clear intentions. Ask, what do I want to see reborn in my life today? Maybe it's restoring a relationship, focusing on healthier habits, or reviving a neglected dream. 2. Psalm 23 reflection. Many people recite Psalm 23 at the day's first light. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Let these words remind you that God accompanies you into the new day, guiding each step. 3. Practical morning actions. If you can't fall back asleep, use this time constructively. Pray, meditate, or stretch. Let the peaceful energy fill your heart, preparing you for whatever unfolds once the sun is fully up. By waking between 4 and 5 a.m., you're stepping into a rare realm of calm. It's almost as if the earth is holding its breath, ready to exhale hope when the sun finally peaks above the horizon. In these minutes, you may sense that old burdens can be left behind in the night, replaced by a renewed spirit and clarity about your next steps. Still, there are broader questions. What about fear, confusion, or the rumors that these hours could be dangerous? One of the biggest challenges people face when they awake at odd hours is anxiety. You might have heard chilling tales of 3 a.m. being an unholy hour, or encountered nightmares that feel overwhelmingly real. Sometimes it's not easy to stay calm when the rest of the world is silent, and you sense your own heartbeat echoing in your ears. Remember that rumors gain power when we allow fear to dominate our perspective. If you approach these awakenings convinced they're haunted or ominous, you may overlook the possibility that God is simply drawing you closer. Faith invites us to flip that narrative. Instead of labeling the darkness as evil territory, see it as holy ground for an intimate encounter with the divine. Ephesians 6:12 reminds believers that our struggles aren't merely against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces in unseen realms. That's not meant to terrorize you. It's meant to awaken your awareness that prayer and faith are powerful tools. If you feel a sense of spiritual opposition in these hours, respond not with panic, but with a fervent call on the name of God. You might say, in faith I stand protected. This night belongs to the Lord, and I am safe. Let your faith overshadow any creeping fear. But let's not forget, there are practical things we can do to strengthen ourselves. We've walked through each hour, learning that every time frame can carry a specific message. Now it's time to collect these insights and provide a clear roadmap for harnessing this energy. 1. Keep a night journal. When you wake unexpectedly, jot down whatever you recall, dream snippets, sudden anxieties, or even a strong conviction. Over time, patterns might emerge, guiding you towards solutions or revelations. 2. Short prayers and affirmations. You don't need an elaborate speech to talk to God. A simple, heartfelt cry for guidance or protection can shift your entire mindset. 3. Honor your physical needs. If your awakenings persist, consider visiting a healthcare professional. There could be medical reasons for your interrupted sleep. Spiritual and physical health often intertwine. 4. Offer forgiveness and seek reconciliation. Anger and unresolved conflict can keep you up. Use these nighttime episodes to reflect on any grudges or regrets. Release them through prayer or by planning healthy conversations in the morning. 5. Look for biblical examples. Joseph, King Hezekiah, Jesus in Gethsemane, and the resurrection at dawn. All these stories remind us that God often works in the most unexpected hours. Let their examples inspire your approach to late-night awakenings. The key is not to ignore these moments, nor to drown them in fear or frustration. Instead, receive them as signals. Maybe something crucial is happening in your subconscious. Maybe God wants to remind you of His presence and invite you to deeper faith. Maybe you're being called to let go of a destructive habit, reconcile a relationship, or pursue a bold new venture. Let's have a quick recap on why each hour matters. 1 to 2 a.m., inner conflict, urgent worries, the need for honesty about what's really troubling you. 2 to 3 a.m., health alerts, emotional release or detox, physical and spiritual. 3-4 a.m., the deep spiritual connection, a moment for profound prayer or revelation. 4 to 5 a.m., renewal and rebirth, bridging night's end with a fresh dawn of possibility. When you're consistently waking at a particular hour, pay attention. You might be unlocking a new chapter in your personal story, one where your faith, mind, and soul converge to reveal truths you've been overlooking. Yet, one dimension remains: the dreams. Now that you understand how pivotal these hours can be, you may be wondering, but what about the dreams I sometimes remember when I wake? Dreams often serve as a channel between the subconscious and the divine. The Bible is filled with instances where God communicates through dreams. Joseph's guiding visions, Daniel's prophetic revelations, and even the warnings given to the wise men who visited young Jesus. We all dream, but not everyone recalls those dreams upon waking. If you're one of those people who does remember, each symbol, color, number, or emotion might hold significance. However, dreams can be perplexing. Sometimes they're literal, other times symbolic. Some might be deeply personal, tied to your own life events, while others could carry broader spiritual messages. If you're eager to explore how to decode your dreams, especially if you sense they're messages from God, you'll want to learn about the 7 types of prophetic dreams, how different animals in dreams may signify certain warnings or blessings, and why specific numbers keep appearing. Each clue could be a piece of a puzzle that brings reassurance, direction, or a gentle cautionary alert. Stay tuned for an in-depth exploration of dream interpretation. In that next discussion, we'll delve into how to discern whether a dream is from God, from your own subconscious preoccupations, or just random mental noise. You'll discover how scriptural insights, prayer, and reflection can guide you in unraveling these nocturnal mysteries. Don't miss it. It could change the way you see your sleep forever. As we wrap up this journey through the mysterious hours of the night, remember, there's no need to fear waking at 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 a.m. These awakenings, which can feel so disruptive, may be hidden gifts, opportunities to connect with God, check in with your heart, and recalibrate your life's path. If you experience these moments with an open mind and a willing spirit, you might find them becoming the catalyst for breakthroughs you never thought possible. The next time your eyes fly open well before sunrise, consider it a gentle whisper. I have something to tell you. I have something to show you. Will you listen? In that calmness, your soul might obtain precious wisdom that can't be heard over daytime noise and distractions. So tonight, and every night, rest with expectancy in your heart. Yes, there may be nights you sleep through until dawn, waking with the sun. But if you do find yourself stirring at 2 a.m. or 3:30 a.m., heart-pounding, mind-buzzing, embrace the call, pray, reflect, surrender your worries, then drift back to sleep if you can, or start your day with renewed courage if the hour demands you stay awake. Each time you do, you'll be weaving your own story into an ancient tapestry of faith, one that has guided countless people from darkness into the guiding light of a new morning. Blessings and peace to you on this journey, and remember to explore the next topic, dream interpretation, so you can fully unlock the messages hidden in your sleep. God might already be speaking. All you have to do is answer with an open heart. May God's blessings be upon you, and may His wisdom guide you always. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear about your own 3 a.m. experiences in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about spiritual signs and personal growth, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more scriptural learnings and transformational lessons.